said, that's fine. You want to talk to Bobby? That is fine. You talk to him. So I went to briefing because we operate with a no surprise rule. But then I actually said to him, and when she calls me looking for you, I'm not going to have a clue in hell where you are. But part of this is you got to do your job as a PR person, as a reporter. Because you cover something and because you have a relationship does not mean you have diarrhea of the mouth. Okay? Is that ethical? Was it an ethical issue? Reporters, and if you're going to be a reporter, if you're going to be an editor, if you're going to be a PR person, you need to know you do your job. You do your homework, you do your research, you don't necessarily depend on somebody to hand it to you. Now my job, I believe, as a PR person, is to make sure that the reporters that are covering BMW understand the automobile business. It's a cyclical business. Sometimes, excuse me, there are things that occur that just happen in the automotive business. And so I think it's my job as a PR person for BMW to make sure reporters understand about new launches, about production, etc. We get a new reporter covering us, I want them to come to the plant, I want them to see the plant. If you don't understand body paint and assembly and what final finish is and what happens, it's going to be hard for you to write stories and understand. It's a two-way street. Information building, and it's important that there's a relationship there as well. I have some reporters who just really, really hate it that I come from a journalism background. I was speaking to publishers at Southern Newspaper Publishers Association, a conference for business editors, several years ago, and one of the young business editors said, "Do you know how my heart sinks when a PR person," and she really didn't mean PR person, she meant flack, says, "Oh, well, I used to be in the business." And I said, well, you know, maybe I'll never ever volunteer that again. And I didn't usually volunteer it. I don't think it has any bearing, really. I said, but I think it's to my benefit, and I think it's to your benefit, that I've worked in journalism so that I understand deadlines. I understand the copy editing process. I understand that you need images to go with a story. I think that is beneficial to you. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that part of my job is to make sure they understand so that it's accurate. You know, our rule is that you don't lie. You tell the truth. You are clear. If I can't talk to you about something, I'm going to say, I cannot comment on that. Now, there's some reporters who view that as lying. And I don't. I'm telling you the honest truth. I cannot comment on it. Had a reporter with the Herald Journal. We had this, I say it wasn't a game, but this is how it worked. He was a very, very good reporter. I knew when he called me that he had done his homework, and he knew how I should answer his question. And that's how it should be. We were building the Z4, which was the next generation roadster. And we had not announced what it was going to be called. We had just said we were going to be building a new model. And in fact, there was a SAE conference going on, and I was pulling out of the plant on my way to the conference, and my cell phone rang. And Jeff said, I understand that the new model is going to be called the Z4. And this had been under heavy, heavy wraps. It had not been announced. Car wasn't even launched, etc. And And I said, well, why would you say that? Now, I have to tell you, my heart did flips. And I thought of a few expletives. And I kind of took a deep breath and I said, so why would you say that? And he said, well, I've got a dealer that has told me this. And I know that BMW has licensed the trademark with the Library of Congress. I said, okay. And I said, he said, can you confirm this? And I said, no, I can't. I cannot confirm this. And as he usually did, he said, can you deny it? And I said, no, I can't deny it either. And I did something that I don't think I've ever done but once, if not once, twice, as a PR person. I said, can I go off the record with you? And he said, yes. I said, Jeff, off the record, and I mean that in the truest sense. No attribution, no, nothing in the story, off the record. And he answered me, yes again. And he knew I had been a reporter, he knew I had been an editor. I said, if I were a reporter or an editor, and I had confirmation on the record from a dealer, and I had a Library of Congress filing that is public, I would go with the story. I said, okay. I called my bosses and I said, Spartanburg Herald Journal will have a story tomorrow that says that the car's name will be the Z4. They have it from this source on the record. And I told them what I had said and what I had done. There are some people, I guess, that might think that was ethical, unethical. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. I think it would have been dishonest for me not to have gone off the record with him and told him he was right. He had it on the record. And I'm not sure he would have. I think he would have anyway, but I think he would have been hesitant without that off-the-record confirmation. The next day, I get a call from his editor. He was a business reporter, saying, "Oh, buddy, I hope we didn't cause you a problem with that story." It was a one-night story, of course, stripped across the top. "Oh, I hope I didn't cause you a problem with that story." And I said, "You don't give a damn whether you caused me a problem or not." I said, "All I got to say is, I'm glad I didn't say what first came to my mind." And he said, "And what was that?" And I said, "Shit." And he said, "Oh, we wouldn't have printed that." I'm cussing a lot. I hope that's not bad. If I'm offending anybody, I'm sorry. And I said, "Oh, yeah, you would have. Except it would be exclamation points and asterisks, etc." But part of being in PR is you do have relationships. You build relationships. Those are two-way streets. And likewise, if it had been called the Z25 and somebody had told him Z4 and it was wrong, I would have waved him off the story. You know, I might not have been able to say it's not Z4, it's the Z25, but I would have said something to the effect of, "That's not exactly accurate. I think you need to go check further." But I think that's part of my responsibility as a PR person. The writing is a little different.